Top reasons why men aren't approaching women in 2025. For one, low testosterone levels. Men's testosterone levels are the lowest they've ever been because of diet, exercise, all these factors, not living healthy lifestyles, and testosterone is what gets men to be motivated to go and ask a girl out. Two is dating apps. Dating apps has made it way too easy for men to think that they have access to women. It gives them this like false hope, and it makes it so easy for them to just go on their phone and take the easy way out. Next is consuming too much online adult content. It is getting really scary when men just go on their phones and can instantly have access to all sorts of material. Why would they even go out and court a girl if they don't need to? Honestly, girls do not make this any easier. Girls are not approachable. Men are terrified of being called creeps or making a girl uncomfortable, so a lot of them just don't do it.
All right, y'all. Here's a question. Why men don't approach women anymore? Glad you asked. Let's get into it, family. Happy Saturday, everybody. Number one, the fear of rejection. Women today, as we know, have some unrealistic standards. Some women. Unless he has a six-pack, six figure, and is 6 feet, you can't talk to him. Number two, it's not just about the fear of rejection. For some men, it's the fear of being labeled a creep or a predator because the man that's approaching you isn't your type. So because he's interested in you, he a creep? Come on now. Number three, online dating, which has made it so men don't have to get rejected in person. Number four, social media. Now you can just run up in somebody's DM. You don't have to have communication skills. I think all this technology and everything has made our communication skills terrible, y'all. Terrible. And last, we've seen how women will reject men in unnecessarily rude ways. It's okay to not be interested, to try to embarrass them. Y'all, we gotta stop.
Men age like fine wine, and men only hit their prime in their 30s. Men's peak, I think, really, especially if you take care of yourself physically, because that's also a big factor of it, 32 to 40.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I have so many years to be an incredible father, an incredible husband. So I guess that's kind of the way that I look at it.
When younger guys were getting rejected left and right, those were from women in their prime. Young women rejected you not because you weren't a good guy, but because they had more options. And we are talking about guys who aged well. Approximately 1/3 of guys will lose their hair, so a small portion of men will get fewer options as they age. The game was never fair from the start. It was just harder to see when you were in the middle of it.
You want me to be honest? I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm fuming. I'm on fire. I'm mad because I care more about you than you care about me, and that's how it's always fucking gone! I'm tired of it! I'm mad! I'm angry! I'm tired of feeling so much! I'm tired of being in my head! I hate it! I'm angry! I'm angry! I'm angry! And no matter how much I try to let go of it and give it to God, it's still so heavy. I feel hopeless. I feel humiliated. I'm embarrassed. I'm confused. And I can't ask for help. I'm over it, bro. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Sick of this. I don't want to feel anymore. Feeling's what's supposed to make somebody a person. And I don't even want to feel anymore. I'm just done. I'm done.
Men naturally prefer fertile women. Reproductive fitness takes a huge downward slope once you're over 30, especially for women, while it's not as severe in men's cases. Biology doesn't care about feelings, and it never has.
Why men don't approach women anymore. So historically, women have always waited for men to make the first move. Is he going to go in for the kiss? Is he going to hold my hand? But now, whenever I talk to my friends about their dating history, all I hear them talking about is, oh, he hasn't made a move. He's not doing anything. We're not moving forward. So on the flip side of this normally ends up in men feeling like they're getting ghosted, or that there's just being told there's no spark. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of my clients, it's not because that you're not attracted to her. It's more about fearing that you're either going to get rejected, maybe you're going to get turned down, you know, slapped in the face when you go for that first move, or even worse, like getting in trouble with the law. So you need to ask yourself, does this sound like you? The truth is, you probably missed that golden opportunity to create that spark. And she likely was giving you signals that you just didn't quite catch.
Women instinctively value security. A man who can provide, which translates to financial security in the modern era. A man starts earning properly around age 30, and it usually goes up from there. Studies have also shown that men are happier when they are older, as women are generally happier in the prime of their youth. So the timelines are completely different, and most people never stop to think about what that actually means long-term.
This one will sting, but it's the truth. A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms, not because they're bad people, okay, but because of the baggage that comes with it. Let's break it down, shall we? A divorced woman usually carries emotional scars. She's been through betrayal, conflict, failure, child custody, and often she hasn't healed from it. That pain doesn't just disappear. It bleeds into the next relationship. Men can feel that bitterness, that distrust, and most don't want to pay for what the last man did. Now let's talk about the single moms. It's not just about dating her. It's about inheriting her past. The ex is always in the picture. The baby daddy will be forever tied to her and her child. And no matter how great the guy is, he's never the first priority. Her kids will be. And they should be. The child should come first. But most men aren't signing up to be second place in their own relationship. It doesn't mean divorced women or single moms can't find love. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean the pool is smaller, because men weigh these realities before committing to somebody. So stop shaming men for wanting less baggage. It's not hate, it's honesty. If you want a high-value man, you've got to bring more than wounds and history to the relationship. You have to bring healing, peace, and partnership, because that's what men stay for.
Tell him what you want and see if he can consistently do what you want before you put out.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
Remember, every freshman dating an upperclassman is one fewer freshman girl for freshman guys to date, except this will never stop. This is also why most men are invisible to women. The competition starts before most young men even realize they're in it.
Being in your late 20s is so hard. I've seen a few people talk about this and just kind of the loneliness of your late 20s, and especially people who are kind of in this middle stage of, hey, I'm not married, don't have kids, not in a relationship, but I'm also not going out every weekend. I spend a lot of my time by myself. I live alone. I come home from work, I go to the gym, I spend my evenings alone. And on the weekend lately, I feel like I've been so exhausted that all I want to do is like spend time by myself. And I'm struggling with questions about work. You know, am I passionate about what I'm doing? Am I good at it? Should I be traveling right now and not working? Or should I be trying to work remotely so that I can travel? Like, there's just all these things that I think I would like to experience. And it's hard to know, well, when am I going to experience those things?
Men have no clocks, so young men are forced to compete with old men for the same pool of young women. Notably, you have 30-year-old guys who are above 6 feet with good income, which is pretty tough competition for an average young guy. So if men 18 to 50 are going after women who are 18 to 30, that's like a ratio of 3 men per woman. How good are any man's options at this point? Nobody puts that math on the board, and yet every young man is living it.
I was speaking to my mum about dating, and because I'm out a lot for work and things like that, and I love to socialize, she was like, oh, like, have you met anyone out? And I'm like, well, I will see a guy that, say, I've texted or, like, met online or have mutuals with, and he will, like, look at me and then turn away and then message saying, like, hey, you looked gorgeous today. And that's, like, a universal experience for every girl. Like, guys will just text you later on. And mum's like, what the fuck? Like, mum's like, when I would go out, if a guy was interested, he'd straight up go, like, hey, I'm interested in you, like, whatever, what's your number? And if you liked him, you'd give him your real one. If you didn't, you'd change one digit. That's what she said to me. My mum did make a point that I go for socially awkward private school boys that don't know how to talk to girls, because I went to single sex schools, so that's a big factor too. But, like, I took it upon myself to call my guy friend and literally ask for the answers. I'm like, just tell me, like, what is stopping guys from just, like, approaching girls naturally and not, like, sleazy, just, like, literally for a conversation? Because guys that, like, do that, like, reap the benefits anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be a sleaze to, like, pull a girl in the first place. My guy friend said, unless a girl is, like, making it that obvious, like, at a pub, for example, that she's into him, he's like, she has to fully be, like, waving at me for me to think to go over. And he said that rejection just isn't worth it these days, because that girls, like, have higher standards of men. So guys genuinely feel like they just aren't good enough and to go up and introduce themselves. And I'm like, that's actually kind of sad, because I do feel like girls are getting judgy up, but I also feel like boys are the same. And I think it goes down to dating apps and social media, obviously. But dating apps is like shopping, like no, 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 yes, no, 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 no. So it's like people are getting pickier, but yeah, it's like people don't know how to socialize anymore, and it's really sad. I saw on TikTok a card game that someone invented called We Met at a Bar. I don't know if you've seen it, but it actually looks like a cool idea, and they should collab with different pubs in Melbourne and just like have the card game sitting at like different tables or something. I feel like that'd be so good. Pretty much, I think it was like they had like different not dares, but like, oh, I don't know, you have to look it up, but it's called We Met at a Bar, and like it introduces conversation, like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I just feel like there's gotta be a way to just like improve everything about the dating culture, otherwise we're doomed.
As a man, I think you get better looking every year. As a man, I think you become a better man every year.
If you are working on yourself. If you're not, then it goes the complete opposite way.
And that comes down to the voices in your head, man. I always say that every person has two voices.
That's right. Mother Nature gives women gifts, but Father Time takes them away. And the cruel part is that neither side really gets to negotiate the terms.
Day 30 of looking for a husband on TikTok so my mom stops bugging me. Okay, another thing that I absolutely need in a relationship is banter. I'm a lot and I need someone who can keep up and dish it back to me, because I 100% am going to dish it to you. If I'm giving you sass, that means that I deep down, I really like you. But at the same time, like, I'm baby, so don't hurt my feelings. You can't take it too far, but definitely dish it back. Like, banter is so key to a relationship for me. What do you guys think? Banter or no banter? Do your feelings get hurt, or do you kind of like it?
The older you get, the better you get.
That's not true at all. And with women, it's the opposite. With men, they age like wine if they do the work. With women age like milk, typically. Unfortunately, Mother Nature gives you your gifts. Father Time takes it away. Yeah. There's a reason why women wear makeup, and they don't, they call it Forever 21, not Forever 41. Shout out to Rolo. Yeah. Women understand that their value is inherently tied to their age.
It's a natural cycle, and both men and women should be aware of it to enjoy it. The only losers here are men and women who don't know the reality or choose to ignore it. Younger men should not waste their time with women and focus on building themselves up. The man who spends his 20s building is the same man every woman wants in his 30s.
When women are young, they think they have all the time in the world, right? You have all the time. You're 25, you're young, you look in the mirror, your skin is fresh, you feel confident, you go out, you walk down the street and a whole bunch of guys whistling from the construction site. You're like, yeah, I got it. And then you're 42, you're exhausted, you're alone, and all of a sudden you're like, I did my whole life wrong. Right? It happens to a lot of women, and increasingly happening to women more and more and more, because of this feminist ideology of postpone, freeze your eggs, you don't need a man. And then they realize, but I want one at 45, and they don't look like they did at 25, and they don't have all those assets that they once had, and now the panic sets in.
I feel like what I'm about to say, there are some girls out there who can relate, and if you can relate, please comment and let your sister know she's not alone in this one. As a Christian single woman, I am ready to be found by my husband. Like, when the weather breaks like this, I know for most girls it's hot girl summer for y'all. Not for this one. I want to be at somebody's coffee shop, sipping coffee with my husband, talking about kingdom stuff, having fruitful conversations, working on our stuff together, just giggling and laughing. I want to be outside, hand in hand with my husband, dilly and dallying, sipping some wine, doing cute little adventurous things. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my solo dates, like love my solo dates, and I don't idolize marriage either. But y'all, I'm just ready to be found by my husband, and I just pray that the Lord allows him to find me this year. And I pray that if there's something that's holding me up from being found, he gets it out the way, because y'all, this, can y'all relate?
Nowadays, you see women waiting. They're waiting. Well, I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my degree. I want to be successful. Nothing wrong with that. But what happens is they get to 30 and they have an epiphany. They're like, oh shit, I got to hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a guest on here, I won't say the name,
Timeline.
35 years old, childless, no husband. You're at that, we call it hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And then they become negative around it and start saying men are shitty, men are douchebags. And then they get in their 40s and they end up on TikTok talking shit at 40 years old, which is pointless, right? What did you do in your 20s? And this is another thing. It's interesting on planning. Watch this, Sean. And I know you get this. You talk to men, you say plan. You counsel women, plan. I ask a woman on the show, what's your 2 to 5 year plan? I don't know. You don't know.
But yet you want a quality man.
You're 35 years old.
Modern women will go to a high-priced institution, get a degree that nobody cares about to put themselves in a whole bunch of debt, and will burden them for the rest of their lives. All they learn in school is how to be disagreeable and how to use men. Number 2, modern women will get a job that is too stressful and does not care about them. In reality, the job isn't that hard or stressful, but the women will convince themselves that it is. 3, modern women will feel entitled to a certain lifestyle when they begin their careers and will buy houses and cars they can't afford or spend all their money.
In terms of dating, women are born valuable while men have to become valuable. Men value women for who they are, their beauty, femininity, ability to give birth. Basically things you receive by default when you are born. That gap in starting positions explains almost every tension you see between men and women in the dating world.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's going to take more than women being pretty for men to approach them anymore. I keep seeing women complaining that men aren't approaching them. And as someone who used to wonder about this too, I'm going to tell you exactly what I learned and how we can fix it. Here's what I've realized. These men are exhausted. They're tired of being used for free drinks, tired of being seen as walking ATMs, tired of putting in effort only to be ghosted or given fake numbers. And listen, I get it. We've been taught that our beauty should be enough, that men should pursue us no matter what. But the reality is, we've created an environment where approaching us feels like a lose-lose situation for them. I used to think men owed me their attention just because I looked good, but here's what I learned. No one owes us anything, not their time, attention, energy, or money. But we've been programmed to think that being pretty is our main value, but then we get upset when men only see us for our looks. Think about how hypocritical that is. We want them to value our minds, but are we actually developing our personalities? We want them to see us for who we are, but do we even know who we are beyond our looks? I had to look in the mirror and ask myself some hard questions. Am I showing interest in him as a person or just what he can provide? Am I bringing peace to his life or drama? Am I someone he'd actually want to build a legacy with? The truth is, we've made dating transactional without even realizing it. We expect men to approach, pay, pursue, while we just exist and wait to be catered to. But here's what changed everything for me. When I started focusing on what I could offer instead of what I could get, everything shifted. The relationship I have now with my fiance is proof that when you develop yourself beyond your looks, the right man will see you as a true partner. We wonder why good men seem unavailable, but maybe they're just protecting themselves from the games we don't even realize we're playing. We can't treat men like they're disposable and then wonder why they've stopped trying. Our actions have consequences, but recognizing this is the first step to actually making a change. If we want men to approach us, we need to show them we're worth the risk. Let's start being the women who inspire men to step up, not the ones who make them want to give up.
All of this is a reality that is never taught to younger men and women. It's something all of us learn as we age. As men, we get to find out why girls our age prefer some old dude who's got a good job, drives a classy car, and can buy her luxury vacations and designer handbags. The lesson comes eventually. It just usually comes too late for most young men to do anything useful with it.
So men don't approach women anymore because they're often referred to as creeps and they're scared of rejection. It's something that I hear a lot of. And I wanted to personally speak to this because I have a lot to say, because I am the biggest supporter of men being men and men pursuing women. Okay, so I'll preface this by saying that. But the problem is, a lot of men pursue women knowing that that woman is not interested in them. And therefore it leads to this negative culture with it. I could speak from my personal experience. I am a very respectful person. For the most part, any person that has ever approached me, tried to pursue me, that I knew I was not interested in, that person did not leave thinking about, oh, I've been rejected, what a terrible experience, they were never felt like a creep, none of that. However, I cannot tell you how many times I had been diplomatic or respectful about the decline, and it has led me to being borderline harassed. Whatever the reason may be at the time that I had rejected these people, I have heard things along the lines of not caring that I was in a relationship, or insinuating that my relationship is not going to work out or not serious. I have been told, don't worry, I like guys, so don't worry about it. Like, it was just clearly a lie. I've been told so many things under the sun. I've had people follow me. I've had people grab me, like while walking, to stop me. I've had a man grab me, right? So this is where you start to have this negative perception about this idea of being approached. And so the issue lies in the fact of men being able to decipher when a woman is genuinely interested, especially when that woman is very, very clear with her intentions. When someone says, I'm not interested, I'm not available, no, anything alluding to the fact of no or not interested needs to be taken with thank you, have a nice day. And that's how we create respectful encounters with approaches. And that's all it takes. And I think it's just certain people that overdo it and give a negative kind of perception of it based on the fact that they have no idea how to read social cues, or they just don't care to, and that's a huge problem. And that's my 2 cents.
Well, I'm alone again. I'm going to a bar again. Just for one drink, it'll be fine. Here's the fit. It's comfy, it's versatile. Peace.
If I filter away women above 27, I'll get as many matches as I did 5 years ago. In reality, men value 3 things in women: looks, age, and partner count. All 3 are associated with younger women. Younger women have fewer partners by pure math. Younger women are more fertile. Strip away the emotion, and the data tells a very straightforward story.
How horrible is it that the patriarchy society has made it that, men age like fine wine, but women age like prunes. And when the menopause kicks, we're all dead. Like, so.
I don't think that came from patriarchy. That came from women.
Oh?
And I'll say that because it's women who express desires for qualities that older men have. That's where it's like men age like fine wine. It's not men that said that, it's women. The sexiest man alive for like the past 7-8 years running has been men over the age of 40. George Clooney was, Brad Pitt, I think Idris Elba. These are all men over the age of 40. So the whole thing that men age like fine wine has always come from women. It's never come from men.
It's pretty simple. Men age like fine wine because the older they get, the more financially stable they become. The older they get, the more experienced they are and the more self-determined they act. To women, that's hot. What was once seen as having nothing slowly becomes the most attractive thing in the room.
You know what my qualifications for being my man are now after just fucking with the wrong individuals. Firstly, I need you to be a man. And when I say be a man, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. I really, when motherfucker ask me, you want a traditional husband? Yes, I want a traditional husband, because you know why? I could be that traditional motherfucking wife. And when I said, I just want shit to be, go back in the day. Like, I need a motherfucker go out here and cut the grass. Can they do yard work with me? Can they do a little housework? If the shelf broke back there, can they put the shelf back on? Bitch, do you even have tools? Cause when I pull out my little toolbox, the men I've been fucking, you got tools? Bitch, you don't? Why the fuck y'all don't have tools no more? Y'all don't have a lawnmower no more. Y'all can't even change oil no more. Can barely change a tire. I don't know. I've been looking in the wrong spot and I don't know where the fuck I need to look. But God, dog. I'm just trying to get the grass cut, oil changed, bills paid. And I make your house a home. It's simple. It's simple. Y'all make shit hard. Y'all make shit hard. And it's really because men don't want to be men and women don't want to be women. Y'all, everybody think they can do everything. Don't get me started. Anyways.
One of my favorite moves to tell a guy when he was cutting things off with me is that you said something. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Like, for example, if someone texted you and was like, hey, like, I just think we're better as friends. Well, you know, like, or I don't like see this going wherever. Oh, I'm so glad you said something. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Roasted. Oh.
So thanks for letting me know. I didn't want to be the one to break your heart first. Of course, because poor thing, she was going to leave him too. But she was so considerate she waited for him to have the courage to say it. This is classic ego defense manual. She neither wanted him cared, but oh, how convenient that he spoke up first. A true masterpiece of I'm always in control, even if only in her own mind.
Men age better because when we were in our 20s, women didn't care about us because we were too inexperienced, too young, and broke. When a man is older, he gets his priorities straight, and to be honest, he is in a much better financial position than he was before and has more experience with women, which makes him more attractive to younger women of today. The very things that counted against him early on become the exact things that set him apart later.
Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking awkward or desperate, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and could hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it. Comment approach for my comprehensive guide on how to master the approach like a natural.
So you think you're going to be more attractive at 26 than now at 21?
I don't think my husband should care whether or not I'm hotter at 21 or hotter at 26. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but
I'm asking you in general.
the younger I am, obviously the more, being in my 30s, like I'll be my most attractive in my 20s. But that doesn't mean that that's going to stop me from finding a man when I'm older.
Would you agree that your chances will decrease as you get older?
As you get older, it could be harder to find.
Wouldn't it be better to leave the casino when you're up $1 million versus leaving with only $500K?
Yeah.
So why would you wait?
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Women generally prefer men their age or older and avoid younger men. So as men age, naturally we have a greater pool of women. We see it in college. Freshman guys are mostly focusing on freshman girls, but seniors go after freshman girls. So senior men have a much larger pool. The inverse is true for women, assuming they are avoiding younger men. Time is literally working in a man's favor whether he realizes it or not.
I think the reason a lot of men are also rejecting marriage is, one, because there's not many wives to find. But two, I think a lot of men find themselves very unhappy in marriage because the women have no interest at all in satisfying them, like you said, or no interest at all in their needs. And they end up scared of divorcing her because they're going to be bankrupt. In a marriage where they don't feel respected, kids don't listen to them, and they're not the king of their own household. So what would be the attraction in getting married unless you're going to be the king of your own household? And that can be extrapolated and discussed in two different ways.
That's what I'm saying. You never supposed to trust these girls out here, bro. Never trust a girl. These girls would cheat on you, lie to you, straight to your face, bro. It happened to me. They would lie to you straight to your face and cheat on you straight to your face.
I'm different.
Most 18 to 22-year-old women don't have much interest in 30-year-old guys unless they have money. So, in many cases, a man might have less chance with a 19-year-old woman when he's 30 as opposed to 22. If I go on a social media dating platform right now, I'll get matches with most women being above 27. Patience isn't just a virtue in this game, it's literally the strategy. Thanks for watching Male Imperium. Please show us your love by subscribing to the channel using the bell icon. We're also up for debate and some healthy banter, so don't forget to comment under the video.